Hello everyone, welcome to another gear review. This time I wanted to talk about power sources and the different types of electronics that I bring out on an average camping trip. I do believe power is essential, just like water, right? The more power you have, the longer you can go in the field. Same thing with water. So what I'm going to do is walk you through some of the options that I typically bring just to maintain devices and things like that. So I'll tell you kind of what I carry and why I carry it, like what kind of devices do I actually charge when I'm in the field. Obviously the trailer itself has a really comprehensive battery system in it. The 180 watt solar panel that you see here can be used to replenish the batteries, or if you're on shore power like I am. And the trailer has a couple of different options. By default, it comes with a 1000 watt inverter, so you can basically run average appliances. Anything real power intensive, probably not, but you can upgrade to a 2000 watt inverter if you want from the factory, depending on your needs. Now throughout the trailer, there are 110 plugs in the cabin, but there are also USB ports. There's some in the box here, some next to the kitchen. So you do have options to power devices when you're just hanging out, like cell phones and things like that. But there are times when you might not necessarily want to use the power from the trailer. Maybe you have a specific device concern, or you're away from your trailer, whatever the case may be, and that's where some of these things come into play. Now, I'm a firm believer in not buying one-trick ponies. I believe that everything that I invest in has to have multi-function capabilities. That way I can get the maximum use out of all the different devices that I have, and it makes carrying the weight a little more manageable because I know it can do more than one thing. So let's go ahead and start with my power options, and then I'll talk about some of the things that I typically supply power to in the field. And we'll start with the smallest, which are these Goal Zero lanterns. These things obviously serve two functions, right? They provide lighting, so you can actually do lighting around the campsite. They're pretty affordable. They're not real expensive, and you can charge devices directly from these. So it does serve as a battery as well. So these are real nifty. I typically use these whenever I'm doing like the lights on the canopy and I need to power it from USB. I just use one of these to power that because it's a low usage while still providing light to the area. The other thing you'll probably see in almost every single one of my videos is the JBL speaker. Now, this is the extreme speaker, meaning that it's designed to be weather proof, I guess you could say. So it can handle rain, dust, wind, all that good stuff. And really, it's an outdoor speaker. I had this well before I got the trailer, although the trailer now can be optioned with a Bluetooth speaker system. I still find this is a better option because this is portable. And it also serves as a battery function. So I can charge my cell phone while I'm playing music directly from this device if I want to, which makes it a much more versatile appliance. And I've run this thing on its own. It'll run music for probably 16 to 18 hours before it goes flat. So it's a well worthwhile investment for doing camping excursions. And when we get into more beefy systems, these battery banks, I use the EcoFlows. I find they are a cheaper alternative to the Jackeries, and they do basically the same thing. I can charge USB devices from this, I can charge 12-volt devices from it, but I can also plug in 110 devices. So if I need to run a laptop, for example, which is something that I do quite frequently in the field to offload footage and everything else, maybe watch a movie, this is a perfect setup for that. So this thing is something I bring out to every trip, whether I use it or not. One of the other things I use it for when I'm in the field is running night lapses. So the native battery on the GoPro won't last long enough to do a decent night lapse. So I just plug it into this, leave it out in the wild, and now I have a battery that'll run it all night long. So this again serves multiple functions for me. Something as simple as a flashlight. So I just recently got this, and what I find interesting about it is it has a 3000 milliwatt amp hour battery in it. So not only is the light rechargeable, but you can also charge devices directly from it. So if I'm in an emergency situation, I'm probably going to sacrifice the light for the sake of a device, especially if you're talking like a cell phone or a recovery device. So it's always good to have something like this in your kit. You never know, right? It's good to charge batteries from that or devices from that. Another beefy hog that I got is the battery system that I use for the AC. So the Zero Breeze actually ships with one battery, and you can get a second one. And these are lithium batteries, and as you can see, they've got multiple charging options. So I can use this as a standalone battery to charge devices as well, which again makes it more versatile. Now granted, if I'm in hot weather climates, I'm probably going to reserve this specifically for the AC, but if I'm in a situation where I absolutely need to charge a battery for whatever reason, or charge a device, this is a good go-to because it will charge multiple devices. The other thing I have, which you guys have seen in previous reviews, is the Light Ranger. So this is an area light that you can use for camping, but it also serves as a battery. So you can charge devices directly from this as well. I have the 10-watt solar panel, which is used to charge this device, but you can also use the solar panel to charge other things. So again, multiple uses for the same device, which I find useful. Something new that I just got as a surprise gift is one of these BioLights. Now I have not used these, but I have seen them. and I think that they are a way to have renewable energy without having to worry about solar panels. So this serves multiple functions. One, you can do device charging from it, but you can also use it as a camp stove. So in my opinion, having multiple functionality for the same device, again, makes it worth it. So let me know if you guys want me to do a review on this. I just got this in, have not done a burn in it yet. I've seen other videos on it, so other people have done reviews. I'm more than happy to bust this thing out, do a burn, show you guys how it works, but otherwise, I look forward to using this on my next camping trip. So what do I charge all my stuff? Like what kind of devices do I typically bring? Well, there's 3 distinct things that I bring every time, 4 actually if you think about it, and then the laptop I typically bring optional. So I'm always bringing comms, so I'm always bringing some sort of a radio. You never know when you're going to need it for emergency communications, but also because I do convoy comms. So anytime I'm camping with my friends, I'll either use the HT or I'll use my mobile in my vehicle. So it's always good to have a radio to be able to communicate with others around you and to be able to hit repeaters in case you need it. So again, it's a last ditch resort from emergency comms perspective. Primarily I use it for cell phones, so keeping your cell phone topped off, especially if you got an area where you've got signal, it's always good to have some option to be able to charge it in the field. And then finally, the Spot X. So I know Garmin makes some of these. This is a Spot X device. This is something that I use when I know I'm going into areas where I'm not going to have cell coverage, but I need the peace of mind of being able to not only communicate at home, but if I'm in an emergency situation, I can call an SOS. So these things are worth their weight in gold, in my opinion. There have been locations that we've gone to where we're in a spot where there is no cell coverage. So just being able to get a message out if there's bad weather or something like that has been peace of mind. Again, I don't feel as anxious when I go into locations where there are no cell signals. Also GoPro batteries. So you can never have enough batteries, but being able to charge your batteries in the field to continue the footage is something that I typically see myself doing every once in a while. And then finally the laptops, right? Being able to offload the footage from the GoPro in the field, being able to use your laptop to watch movies in the cabin if you're in inclement weather. A number of different reasons why you'd want to bring a laptop with you. And then having a way to charge that is important. Now I have found in the trailer, weirdly enough, because I'm running a 1000 watt inverter, my laptops will run off of the 110 outlets, meaning that it'll provide a source of power to the laptop so it's not draining the battery, but it's not strong enough to charge the battery. So I'll end up in this situation where I'm just consuming the power but not actually supplying power back to the battery. It's weird. I don't know what it is about the trailer. Maybe it's just the fact that I got the 1000 watt inverter, but what I have found is in times when I need to actually charge the battery on my laptops, I just plug it into the battery bank. It does have the horsepower necessary to send power to the battery on the laptop and keep it topped off. So hopefully this has been useful to everyone. Again, these are just some of the options that I typically bring out on almost every trip, depending on whether I'm solo camping or group camping. You can never have enough battery power. So if this has been useful to you, or if you want to see an extended review of any of these components, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I look forward to making my next video. This has been a gear review. Thanks.